So welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's currently school season. That means students are going back to school, starting school. You're about to go to different places of the world. Today we are looking at 10 most important skills that every international student needs to have if they want to study abroad. Okay, if you are watching me right now, I know that most of you are planning to travel. Most of you are coming to Lithuania. Well, hello. Most of you are traveling to Europe, to America, you name it. And these skills are so important, especially if you're watching me from Africa, you're watching me from India, wherever you're watching me from. Okay, this video is very vital for you. So guys, without any further ado, let's get right into it. My number one is social skills. This is the most important thing that you'll be doing as a student abroad. You will be talking to a lot of people, talking to your colleagues in class, to your lecturers, your student coordinators, to your roommates. You will be having a lot of communication, a lot of interaction. So it is very, very important that you develop, if you don't have already, that you develop carrying out a conversation. That you gain the skill of interacting with people, communicating with people. I'm a foreigner, and I know that most of you that watch me are foreigners too, right? So whatever I share is because most of the time is experienced, or people have experienced such things, and I want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. You're gonna be having a lot of communication with different people, not only communicating face to face, but also communicating via written text, like communicate on all levels, on social media, on phone calls, emails. You're going to be writing a lot of emails, so you're going to be having a lot of teamwork. For example, if you are coming from Nigeria and coming to Lithuania, you're going to have a lot of white people. I don't know if that sounds right, but you're going to have a lot of people that are not of your skin color. So learn how to interact with those people, not being afraid, being comfortable. That is very, very crucial. So my number two is technical knowledge. But let me tell you, if you're coming to study, you are going to have a lot of things to do with the computer. Learning how to make presentations, learning how to write information on Word, like Microsoft tools or Google Workspace tools. So this is not where they say submit assignment by paper. Everything 100% of the time is going to be submitted online. So this is very important because you are going to have a lot of presentations. You're submitting your assignment, so you need to learn how to use a computer. So if you've not learned how to use a computer, that's fine. Just make sure that you're currently right now enrolling to learn those basic skills. Or literally, if you're watching me on YouTube, you can actually search, how do I use a computer? How to use different computers. So you're going to be doing presentations, or a lot of it. Start learning how to put together one or two into the system and make a good presentation. You're going to be writing thesis, coursework, and all those requires a lot of writing. So you need to prepare ahead of time and get your technical skills. Otherwise, it's going to be so challenging for you. I remember when I actually moved to abroad the first time, I had gone to a computer school before I traveled abroad, but actually getting there was so many things. My lecturer would do like certain steps that he would do, and we needed to follow it. But because I wasn't very quick on using computers, that took me time. So you have time now to practice, prepare, and plan before you come abroad for your studies. My number three is cultural awareness. You are coming to a new country, a new place. They have a different language, a different way of behaving, different way of talking, different way of doing things, different foods. Okay, so it is very, very extremely crucial that you are aware of the culture that you're going to. If you're coming to Lithuania, you need to understand, how do Lithuanians think? What kind of culture do they have? How do people behave there? These are things that you can find on the internet, like by watching my YouTube videos or watching people's videos of the country that you're going to, understanding what is the culture. Another thing is to be open-minded. Being open-minded to understand that you are not the only person that will have preferences, right? The things that might actually be vibing for you might be very distracting for other people. The things that might be very nice for you, like the foods that you like, might be different from what other people would like. So it's very important that you are mindful of that and respectful towards the culture that you are coming into. Be mindful of what you post on the internet, so because most of the time that's how people get to know you. That's how people get to know what you're about. So for example, if you didn't like the food, it's okay. You don't like the food because you don't like the food. It's not something that you're used to. But imagine posting on the internet, oh, this food is nonsense, this food is bad. Like, you be mindful, like, to respect people's culture, to respect what people like, to respect what people don't like. Yes, you might not like all the food, and it's normal. Or you might not like all the things that are done there. That is absolutely normal. But you've come here now. I think there's a place, or how we say it, if you're in Rome, behave like the people in Rome. Right? So I think that means literally being respectful, being mindful, and to be respectful, being very demure, very intentional, very classy. You know what I mean? All right. So I think that point is very, very clear. My number 4 is self-care and well-being. Your well-being is so important. One thing that people don't realize you might struggle with when you come abroad is your mental well-being, your mental health. One thing that I know that most people deal with when they come abroad is loneliness, because they don't have family around. They don't have their people around. So it goes into like how you feel. Guys, you don't understand how much joy and peace and health that being with family brings to you. You have no idea until you are separated from them. So you need to prepare ahead of time how you're going to keep in touch with your friends and family in your home country where you've left, how you're going to make new friends, how you're going to be intentional, like going out of your way to make friends, because that is, that is very, very important. That is very, very important when it comes to feeling better. But yeah, just be prepared for loneliness, that this could happen, but don't be scared about it, but rather just prepare ahead of time. When it comes to well-being and self-care as well, would be learning how to do basic house chores, like learning how to cook, learning how to clean. Unless you're watching this video and you're a millionaire, okay, and you're coming to school and you're gonna hire like a cleaner and you're gonna hire a cook, then this is not for you. But a regular student that is coming to study, like myself, right, when I was studying, if you're coming to study, you need to learn how to make basic things. I'm not saying be a chef. I recommend personally, if you're looking for like African foods or Nigerian foods, and channels like Kiki Foodies, Sweet Ajele, and Sister Jemima, Sister Yemi. So their recipes are always very, very easy to follow, especially Kiki Foodies. Her videos are always like the easiest. Ingredients 1, 2, 3, 4, especially for my guys. I know that some guys don't like to cook, okay? And there are some guys that love to cook. Kiki Foodies, her videos are very, very simple to follow. So please check her out and make sure that you learn how to cook. Like, you cannot be walking around, oh, I don't know how to cook. How is that information going to help the world? Okay, how is it going to help anybody? And also, because you don't want to spend a lot of your money on buying food outside, you don't even have a lot of money to be buying food outside. Okay? Eating well can make you feel good. Being in a clean space can make you feel good. So making sure that you're feeling good in that way, that will help your overall well-being. Learn how to do your hair. You might know how to do hair, but you don't know how to do your own hair. So if you have that skill, you can transfer it to someone else who had learned how to do hair, and then that person can in turn give you the service back and they can do your own hair. But learning those basic skills, how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your mental health, how to access medical care in the country that you're going to, all those things are very, very important for your well-being. You can't stay, I think I mentioned it in my last video, you can't stay in a country without knowing how you can access medical care in that country. For example, in Lithuania, our emergency, like learning how to call emergency, our emergency number is 112. So make sure that you call them if you ever need them. My next point will be networking, okay? So networking ties very well into your well-being, right? And networking ties also well into your career advancement. I think I've heard this thing so many times. Your network is your network. So I think when it comes to networking, it's always very confusing. Does that mean just seeing people? But over time, I've learned that networking is literally meeting people and staying in touch with them. When you meet people, what do you do with that? How do you stay in touch with them? And that could be literally following them on Facebook, following each other on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on platforms, and staying in touch. If, for example, the person posts something like liking, congratulating, like staying in touch, I think that's the main box of networking, not just meeting people, because you meet a lot of people every day. How many of them do you stay in touch with? Networking is going to be very crucial for you, whether you're planning to stay in the country that you're going to stay. But network really brings you information, brings you knowledge, especially in a new country. Networking, knowing who am I going to network with? How do I network with the person? Knowing the people, staying in touch, meeting people and staying in touch with them. Next one is adaptability and resilience. Guys, when you come abroad, there's so many things that are gonna come for you. So many things that are gonna snatch your hair. Things that are gonna stress you out. Like, you're gonna have assignment upon assignment. You're gonna be running around the whole country. You're gonna be running around, and this person will say, this lecturer will say, oh, I want A. The other lecturer will say, I want B. So you are likely to feel under pressure, okay? So learning and preparing your mind, especially I think your mind, preparing your mind or preparing yourself that those things are gonna happen and they are normal, and you shouldn't make it seem as it's just you. And also, because you're in a new country, there are so many things that you might not know, things that are new to you. So not only are you going into a new system to learn, but you're also in a new environment, in a new atmosphere. So things are going to be very, very fast for you. So learning to be adaptable, learning to be resilient when the things are tough, chugging it out, and it will get better in time. So don't give up while you are being adaptable and resilient, how to stay strong despite the pressure that you're having to finish all your coursework. And you're gonna have thesis time, and thesis time is usually when students fall apart, and I don't want you guys to fall apart. So prepare your mind that those things will happen. You're gonna have a lot of things to do. It's also time management, understanding how do you manage your time, right? Being adaptable to understand what is this course requiring from me now? Where do I need to invest my 100% in? Why do I need to invest 60%, 10%, 4%? Like, understanding those things and being adaptable and resilient in a new country is gonna be so crucial, so important for you. So another skill that you need to gather and be ready for is legal and administrative stuff in your country. This means immigration, everything law changing, especially for a country like ours, like in Lithuania, when things are changing. Like, I was thinking to make a video about policy law changes in Lithuania for migration. So it's so important that you keep up to date. Like, you need to make sure that you know what are the news outlets in the country that you're living in. Where is the news coming for migration, for students, for whatever it is? Like, you need to make sure that you bookmark those websites or those pages so that you can always stay up to date. You are reading to see what is the new policy you need to be aware of. Ignorance is not an excuse in the law. So it's very, very important that you are very aware, very up to date. But if you're an international student, most of the time you need to apply for things we call like temporary residence permit or a permit to live in that country. Knowing when can you apply, how long does it take, what is the price of those things. Like, you need to know what are the laws applicable to you. If you're planning to work in that country as a student, you need to know what are the laws that apply to students who work in that country. So knowing when to do the things that you need to do so that you don't get into any administrative or immigration problems, because that is, you see, migration problem for students. Like, migration is the biggest challenge, because trust me, schools sometimes they don't do it very well. Any small thing, they will tell you they will cancel your migration. Like, they don't know that how draining that is. You're in a new country and somebody's threatening you with that kind of thing. So I want you guys to be very, very up to date, to know when you need to apply for something and apply on time. Don't do things late. Don't get into trouble. Know the law, follow the law, and be on time when you need to submit anything. Okay. My next one is managing your emotions and conflict. Okay, you're gonna have conflict. Okay, you're gonna have people that will call you, for example, you are black, people that will undermine you, people that will say go back to your country or say negative things about you, and you need to be prepared for that. I have a lot of Indians that watch me, and people can try to make mockery of your accent. Okay, and even Africans, people can try to make a mockery of your accent or your skin color. So you need to learn how to manage your emotions and those conflicts that might arise from those things. Don't take things personal, rather approach conversations with questions. Okay, if someone says something, instead of being angry and thinking that they're attacking you, ask them questions that will help them expand on what they are saying. Because some people, to be honest, some people don't even know. They just say certain things that they are not even aware of. So don't take anything personal. Learn to manage your emotions. If someone has a conflict with you, know when to let go. Know when to raise your hand and just pass. Know when to have conversations. Know when to mind your business. Just cross the road and go. Okay? Know when you need to teach. You need to have confrontation, you need to have a conversation, or you need to walk away. So this is very, very important when it comes to managing your emotions and managing conflict, which you're likely going to face a lot when you come abroad. My next one is being yourself. If you're going to come to a new country, it is very important that you are yourself. There are people that want to box you. And yes, you're going to learn, you're going to adapt, you're going to understand how people behave, you're going to respect the culture. But it is very important that you don't let go of your values. You don't let go of your principles because you're now in a new country. I think you've seen, I don't know, have you seen that video where they say, hey, if I travel abroad, I'll pierce my nose, I'll cross my neck, all those things. Like, it sounds very funny, right? It sounds very cute. But if you move to a new country, you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to become anybody new. Like, you don't have to become a different person. You don't have to let go of your values because you're now in a new country. You don't have to. The best version of yourself is being your authentic self. And I think a lot of Africans do this. When we travel to a new country, we adapt so much that we let go of the things that are important to us. We adapt and change into the community that we are in. But you don't have to. There are values that you came from Africa with, which, for example, like respecting your elders or or giving or praying or hard work or resilient, like all those values, don't let them go because you're trying to belong in such a way that you forget who you are. No, be yourself. I think this is such a crucial skill that I see a lot of people, a lot of students let go of because they're in a new country and they want to belong. You already belong. That's why you came. Okay. And actually, most people can fish out if you're not being authentic. I think you will be able to interact more without having all that mental fog of, oh, did I do this right? Did I do that wrong? I can't change my skin color. Listen, I'm a respectful person. Listen, I like to do this. Listen, I like to go to church. Listen, I like to pray. Listen, I love to cook and I love my Nigerian food or my Indian food. Or in India, we eat with our hands. We don't eat with spoon. That is fine. You don't have to change all those things because you're in a new place, but rather adapt, but don't change who you are because you're in a new country. So my final point for this video is financial management. This entails learning how to make money and learning how to spend the money that you have. As a student, you are gonna have left, right, center expenses, okay, like your dormitory expenses, your food expenses. You need to learn how to manage those finances. How do you spend? What are the things you can afford? Knowing when discounts are, if there's any student deals for you, okay, because as a student there are so many deals. If you're studying in any country, like, you need to be asking them anywhere you go, ask, do you have student discount? Do you have student discounts? Don't be ashamed to ask, okay, because most places you go to already have student discount. If they do have, because it's going to be beneficial for you. Knowing when to pay your bills. If you're going to be applying for your residence permit, you're going to have to pay for that. So knowing when to pay, make sure you're saving money, keeping money for your food, making sure you're keeping money for your medical expenses if they come up, making sure you're keeping money. And then when it comes to financial management, gaining skill can help you make money. Okay. In my last video, I was sharing that don't let work be a distraction for you. Yes, do not let work be a distraction. However, very important that you know how to make money, that when you need money you have skill A, B, C, D. Yeah, those skills can range from so many things. So that's why in my next video I'll be sharing with you money making skills that every foreign student needs to know, needs to have, so that they can make money while studying abroad. That's what we're going to be looking at in my next video. Okay, you need to prepare for skills that will allow you make money in your new country that you're about to go to. If you're a foreign student or you were a foreign student, what are the skills that you recommend the foreign students to have before coming to a new country? Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. I am not feeling very great today, but I just wanted to make this video for you guys. I hope you are feeling well, and stay tuned for my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Voila. Mwah. Bye guys.